begin with the MCQs for quiz 9. If you have a doubt or a question, you can mention the doubt. Otherwise, I'll just say the answer. So for question number 1, any doubt? The correct answer for this one is B.
Yes, sir.
There's a doubt? Okay, I'll explain. Look, whenever we have two objects are placed at the same distance from the pivot, let's say there's a beam and we have a pivot at the center. So when the pivot is exactly at the center and the two objects are placed equal distance from the pivot, it means the two objects have the same mass and the same weight. Here weight is acting downward, here weight is also acting downward. This causes a clockwise turning effect, this causes an anti-clockwise turning effect, and the beam is balanced. So whenever the two objects are placed same distance from the pivot, it means they will have the same mass and same weight. But what if it was like this? One object is closer to the pivot, another one is further from the pivot. So in that case, the object which is closer to the pivot, that is heavy object, and the object which is further from the pivot is a lighter object. So in this case, because the two are placed same distance from the pivot, the X and the Y, that's why they have the same mass and same weight. Yes, Abdullah.
So which pop quiz is it?
MCQs pop quiz 9.
Okay.
The correct answer for this one is B. So next we have the mass of a measuring cylinder before and after pouring a liquid into shown. What is the density? To get the density is mass divided by volume. Look, we need the density of the liquid. The empty flask, the empty measuring cylinder was 80 grams and the filled measuring cylinder is 180 grams. So what is the mass of the liquid inside? So we do subtraction. So 180 minus 80, so how much is there? It is 100 grams. And what about the volume? We will read here, as you can see, the 10, like 5 lines are there representing 10. So each is representing 20. Like this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, and 140. So the level is at 140. So it will be 100 divided by 140. So B will be the right answer. Is it clear, this question? So density
Yes,
is mass divided by volume. The mass was the 100 gram and the volume was 140. What is the volume of the liquid? As you can see, there are 5 lines. So it means each is representing 2. So this will be 42, this will be 44, this will be 46, 48. So which level it marked? The bottom of the meniscus, it marked at 46. So B will be the right answer.
Sir, the answer is B.
Yeah, B. Question 4. Which measuring
Sir, I
cylinder?
have a doubt in this question.
Sure. Which measuring cylinder four same mass of a 4 different liquid is placed in some measuring cylinder. Look, density is mass divided by volume. If the mass is constant, we need the greatest density. So the highest density should have the least volume because the relation between the density and the volume is inverse. So we have the equal mass of all of them. Here the volume is 8, the volume is 4, the volume is 5, and the volume is 10. So which has a least volume? The least volume is B. So the one which will have the least volume will have the highest density because they all have the same masses. So if I say this is 10 gram, this is also 10 gram, this is also 10 gram, this is also 10. So to get the density of this one, it will be 10 divided by 8. To get the density of this one, it will be 10 divided by 4. To get the density of this one, it will be 10 divided by 5 and 10 divided by 10. So density is inversely proportional to volume. Density is inversely proportional to the volume. So the one which is having the least volume will be the most dense if they have the same masses. That's why B will be the right answer. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next question 5. It's the same question is there, repeated one. Question 6. A person measure the length, width, height, and the mass of a rectangular block. Yes, Ayan, you have a question?
Sir, it's me. Sir, what was the answer to question 4?
For question 4, the correct answer for question 4 was B, and 5 also B. It's a repeated one. The least volume will have the highest density. So to get the density, we need the mass and the volume. For a rectangular block, we need a length, width, and height. So that will give us the volume, and we'll have the mass. So D will be the right answer. Yes, it was having in the question, it was mentioned a constant mass. So you can take any of the mass and you will get the answer.
Sir, I have a doubt in this question.
A student pour a liquid into a measuring cylinder. So student pour a liquid into a measuring cylinder. A student record the volume of a liquid from a scale of a measuring cylinder. He then puts the measuring cylinder containing a liquid on the balance and he recorded the mass. What else needed to be measured before the density of a liquid? Look, when we calculate the density of the liquid, I should first measure the mass of empty. I should measure the mass of empty measuring cylinder. Then I should measure the mass of the filled one. And after taking a difference, like let's say the empty was 30 grams and the filled is 40 grams. So how much is the difference? That is the mass of the liquid. So 40 minus 30, that is equal to 10 grams. So what is missing here? What else we have to do? We have to measure the mass of empty measuring cylinder. So we can subtract from the filled one. So B is the right answer for this. Is it clear? Because a
Yes, sir.
liquid
Yes, sir.
liquid must be in a container, confined in a container, so that you can store the liquid. That's why you need a mass of the container first, then the container and the liquid, and just subtract. Question 8.
Sir, I have a doubt in this question.
Okay. In question 8, the diagram shows 4 blocks are there. Each is made with a density of 2.6. Which block has a mass of a 30? The area is 1 centimeter square. Like this area is 1 centimeter square. This area is 1 centimeter square. This area is 1 centimeter square. This area is all have area 1 centimeter square. So if I need the density, because we need the mass here, so we have the formula that the density is mass divided by volume. So mass will be density multiplied by volume. The diagram shows 4 blocks, each made up of density 2.6. So density is 2.6. What about the volume of this block? Volume is like for a cylindrical objects, for rectangular objects, it is length multiplied by area. If I need the total volume. So the length is 15 here for the first one, and area is 1. Dimension the cross-section area. Because when I multiply the total length with an area, I'll get the volume. So when we simplify 2.6 multiply by 15, what's the answer? So it will be 2.6 multiplied by 15. So this will be 39 grams. Same way, if I need the mass of the second one, it is a density which is 2.6 multiplied by volume. The area length is 10 and the area is 1. So 2.6 multiplied by 10, what we will get? We'll get 26 grams. What about this one? The mass is density times the volume. So density is 2.6 and the volume is 5.
This will be 13 grams.
So this will be 13 grams. And the last one, the density is 2.6 and the length is 2 and the area is 1. So this will be equals to 5.2.
Sir, what was the answer for question 7?
Question 7B was the right answer. We need the mass of empty cylinder before we pour the liquid to get the density. So question 7B was the right answer. Mass of empty measuring cylinder. And for this one, question C is the right answer. Which of the following is the unit of the density? It's gram per centimeter cube. Each of the solids shown in the diagram have the same mass. So if we have the same mass, what is the criteria to know the density? Density is inversely proportional to volume. The least volume will have the highest density. So when we measure the volume, what is the volume of this one? It will be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, so that's equals to 4. Volume of this one, 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1, so this will be 1. 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 2, so this will be 2. 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, so this will be 8. So which has the least volume? B has the least volume, means it will have the highest density.
Yes, so volume and density are inversely proportional.
Yes, they are inversely proportional if the mass is constant.
Okay.
Like if we have the equal mass, then the volume and the density are inversely proportional. But if we
So
have,
if the volume is less, that means density will be the most.
yeah, if for the same masses.
Okay.
This is a last week pop quiz for those who just joined now. This was a last week pop quiz 9, MCQs pop quiz 9. First, we're discussing this. Then we'll start our topic 1.8, which is about the pressure. A student is trying to find the density of a water of a large regular shaped solid. Which apparatus? Look, if you need density, to get the density, I need the mass and I need the volume. And how to get the volume? For a volume, we need a measuring cylinder. And how to get the mass? We have to measure the mass of empty and then the filled one by using a balance. So which apparatus needed to find the density for both? And we have another regular shaped solid is there. So if we have a regular shaped solid, so I have to measure its length, width, and height. So by measuring the length, measuring the width and height, we can also work out the volume, and we need the mass. From the mass, we can, from the balance, we can work out the mass. So we don't need a clock. So anything with a clock is not correct. So we need a balance to measure the mass. We need a measuring cylinder for the liquid, and we need a scale or a ruler to measure the dimension of the regular shaped solid. So we need these three apparatus. Question 12. A metal drum has a mass of 200 gram but empty. So there's an empty drum. So metal drum is empty, the mass is 200 kg. Then it is filled. When it is filled, it is 1000 kg. So how much liquid is inside? So we take a difference 1000 minus 200. So it is 800 kg. And what about the volume? The volume is 1. So 800 divided by 1 meter cube. So we got C 800 kilogram per meter cube. What is the density of the metal? How to work out a density? Mass over volume. Mass is 250 and the volume is 5 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 2. The previous question, 12, I'll repeat. The metal drum, when it was empty, it was 200. When the metal drum was empty, it was 200 kg. When the metal drum was filled with the liquid, it is 1000 kg. So this is 1000 kilogram. So what is the amount of the liquid inside? So 200, 1000 minus 200, because originally it is 200, the empty one, and the filled is 1000. So how much the mass has increased, that is due to the liquid. So it is 1000 minus 200. So the mass of the liquid is 800 kilogram. And the volume of the liquid is 1 meter cube. So to get the density, mass over volume, so 800 divided by 1. So 800 divided by 1, you will get 800 kilogram per meter cube. Question 13, what is the density? To get the density, it's mass over volume. The mass is 250. What about the volume? 5 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 2. So it is 20 multiplied by 5, which is 100. So 250 divided by 100, that will be 2.5, or C will be the right answer. The diagram shows an experiment to find the density of the liquid. As you can see, the empty measuring cylinder is 200 gram and the filled is 250. So how much, what is the mass of the liquid inside? So that is equals to 250 minus 200, which is equals to 50 gram. What about the volume? As you can see, only two lines are there till 10. So it means each is representing 5. So it is 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 25. That is equals to 25 cm cube. 50 divided by 25, so we got 2 grams per centimeter cube. So B will be the right answer here. A student need to find the,
Sir,
yes,
13 is C, right?
yeah, so question 12. Okay, someone asked question 12, answer is C. 13 answer is C. Question 14 answer is B.
B?
Yes, good. This is B.
Okay.
And question 15, a student need to find the density of a cubic block. Which two pieces of apparatus should he use? So which pieces of apparatus he should use? You want to
Balance
find
and meter.
a wooden block is there. So we need the balance and we need the like measuring a dimension, length, width, and height. So we can find its volume. And we need a balance. So A will be the right answer. So this was a pop quiz.